From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 10 o'clock news.
Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Russ Riesinger. Mother Nature putting on quite a show out there tonight. Take a look at this video shot from our iCam in the last hour. Impressive lightning, strong winds, and heavy downpours of rain coming from a very powerful storm. We want to get right to Chief Forecaster Bob McGuire for the very latest. Bob?
Yeah, thank you very much, Russ. Yeah, we have a severe thunderstorm warning, no doubt about it, right now in the Billings area for Yellowstone County. Let's get right to it. It just now ended at 10 o'clock, but it was right there. We had pea-sized hail and 70-mile-per-hour winds. Let me show you what we had this thing. This thing was just starting to make its way into the Billings area, and by Shepherd, we did hear from Spike, and Shepherd said it was just coming down in sheets. Leon and Laurel said it was raining so hard, he wouldn't be surprised if it didn't put out that fire over a Big Timber. That's the kind of rain we had. Now, here in the Billings area, can you believe this? We wound up with 1.06 inches of rain out of this thunderstorm as it continues to blow its way through the region. There it is right there. Look at that. It was just some very heavy showers and thunderstorms, and it continues to move its way out of the area tonight. So here's what you'll see. There it is right now, but later tonight it just kicks out of here, and by tomorrow morning the whole thing's gone. We're looking at mostly sunny skies again throughout most of the day on Tuesday, and indeed right on into Wednesday. We'll have the rest of your week's forecast coming up in a few minutes. Russ?
Thank you, Bob. Officials tell Q2 that the Falling Star fire near Park City was about 80% contained as of about 4 o'clock this afternoon, and crews are expected to start going home tomorrow. The fire was started by people and had burned about 2,200 acres so far. Q2's Mitch Legge brings us more from Stillwater County officials.
Firefighters are comfortable with the amount of progress that's been made on the Falling Star fire overnight and throughout the course of Monday. And it helped that they dodged a previously forecasted thunderstorm that was predicted to move through the area earlier this afternoon. The newest map counted about 2,200 acres of mostly private land that was burned by the fire. According to Stillwater County Disaster and Emergency Services, a few homes were scorched by the flames, but no structures were completely lost to the fire. About 300 homes in the area north of Park City were threatened, 100 of which were evacuated on Sunday. Residents were allowed back into their homes around 8 p.m. last night. 3 helicopters are helping to fight the blaze today, but Incident Command thinks that the fire is in good shape.
This was a human-caused fire, so please be very careful out in the tall grass, even though if you're out there working or driving around in whatever kind of vehicle, it is very dry out there, and please be careful.
Now, generally, the insurance company of a person who starts a wildfire can be held responsible for the financial cost of firefighting services. The investigation into who started this fire is being undertaken by the Yellowstone County Sheriffs. In Billings, Mitch Legge, MTN News.
All right, thanks, Mitch. And there's more information on this fire on our website, ktvq.com. 3 hot air balloons crashed shortly after takeoff near Jackson Hole, Wyoming this morning, injuring more than a dozen people. According to multiple press reports, the balloons did not crash into each other and likely went down due to weather around 8:30 a.m. Mountain Radio reported 16 people were injured, 1 flown to a hospital in Idaho Falls. A witness told the radio station that he watched as one of the balloons with a large basket careened into trees. A man on one of the balloons told the Jackson Hole News and Guide that it started out as a beautiful ride, then, quote, all hell broke loose. He said they were trying not to fall out of the balloon. The accident occurred about 2 miles south of Teton Village. The National Transportation Safety Board will lead the investigation. And we learned late this afternoon that the city of Billings is closing City Hall and the Billings Public Library temporarily after 3 city employees tested positive for COVID-19. It's not known where or when the 3 employees contracted the virus, but both facilities are being closed so that a deep cleaning can be completed. The 3 employees are currently under quarantine at home. City Hall will reopen at 7 a.m. on Thursday, but will only be open on Tuesday and Thursdays until noon through August 14th. Normal hours will resume on August 17th. The library won't reopen until August 17th, but curbside services will continue Monday through Friday. Well, 3 more COVID-19 related deaths are being reported in Montana, with another 60 new cases today. 1 death reported in Yellowstone County, the other 2 in Bighorn County. The death toll now stands at 64 across the state. Yellowstone County is seeing the most active cases at 559. There have been 4,267 cases so far in the state, and of them, more than 2,600 have now recovered. In Yellowstone County, the number of new cases per 100,000 people a day has rose to 18, but the number is much higher in Bighorn County, where officials see as many as 100 new cases a day per 100,000 people. Yellowstone County Health Officer John Felton updated the Billings City Council with those numbers at a virtual meeting tonight. Felton said there are currently 45 people in the Billings hospital sick with COVID-19, with 7 in the ICU and 4 on ventilators. 2/3 of those in the Billings hospitals are from Yellowstone County. The other third is made up of outside residents, the majority of which reside in Bighorn County. With school soon back in session for Montana kids, health officials have been thinking about how to get them back on the sports fields. Felton said he'll meet with Yellowstone County school officials tomorrow to adopt a uniform policy for attendees at school events. The governor left a lot of control up to local school districts. Felton described some of the challenges that schools and health officials are facing.
The governor's directive says that whenever physical distancing cannot be reliably maintained throughout the course of the event, then the group size is limited to 50. So what's the group size on a football field? Is it 2 groups because they're on opposite sides of the field? Is it 1 group because they're on one field? How many athletes and coaches and referees and trainers and chain gang people can be on the field at one time? So it's even things that seem relatively simple and not quite as simple.
Felton says the superintendents of all the AA Montana high schools met yesterday to see if they could adopt some uniform policy for event attendance. He said the group didn't reach a conclusion, but identified more questions that need answers before school starts. Well, back to school this year is a challenge, both here in Montana and all across the country. One big question that many schools are dealing with right now is how to keep classes and students learning together, even when they're apart. Q2's Krista Rose was in Laurel today to find out how they're effectively dealing with this issue.
At Laurel High School this morning, teachers got their first look at in-classroom software that will record their lessons live for students learning remotely.
Hopefully, this becomes a really cool part of teaching moving forward.
This new technology comes from Missoula-based Total Education Solutions in Technology Incorporated, or TEST Inc. for short. They've been helping schools in and around Montana for over 20 years incorporate new technologies into their classrooms. And this year, tech in schools is more sought after than ever before.
There's definitely a lot of demand. A lot of schools are looking for the different solutions. And so we're very busy right now, which is just educating and letting schools know what we have, and then, of course, installing as we're going along.
And what are they installing? Cameras and recording software. This technology was originally thought of to be a safeguard in the classroom in case of a medical emergency or dangerous situation.
The cameras are only about the size of a smoke detector, and what started out as a safety tool in the classroom is now turning into an effective education tool for students learning at home.
Well, the teacher will be wearing a mic because, one, even the students in the classroom will have difficulty hearing clearly the teacher, so they'll be wearing a mic. And at the same time, then they can have their video recording so they can have interaction with the students both in the classroom and at home. So therefore, the teacher only has to teach that lesson once. They would be also recording it, and so that if a student couldn't be there live, they could see the video later.
Superintendent Linda Filppula agrees and thinks that this will save teachers time and make learning more efficient for pupils studying remotely.
One of the challenges we had last spring was that teachers were kind of doing double duty, and students weren't on a schedule. Teachers were teaching way past the normal hours. And so this system allows a teacher to record their lesson.
While everyone wants to get back to learning together in one place, right now, for some, that's just not possible. This technology, however, could be the next best thing.
I don't see education going back to what it was, and so you really need to be looking forward. I think this is a great tool that provides flexibility for whatever situation we find ourselves in this year, but also moving forward. And I have every confidence in our teachers. They will take this tool, be innovative and creative.
Reporting in Laurel, Chris DeRose, MTN News.